This month marks 25 years of a huge change to the UK military when the ban preventing LGBT plus people from serving was lifted. Before 2000, serving personnel who were outed as gay were dismissed and in some cases arrested.
The government recently apologised and announced a payment scheme for those who lost their jobs. Army veteran and double Olympic gold medalist Dame Kelly Holmes meets some of those affected.
Competing for my country and winning 2 Olympic gold medals was a dream come true to me. But throughout my career as a professional athlete, I was terrified to tell people about a very important part of who I am.
I kept the fact that I am gay a secret for 30 years, until I came out 2.5 years ago. One of the reasons I felt I had to keep that secret dates back to the decade I spent serving my country in the British Army.
I joined up in 1988 when being LGBT+ was still banned in the armed forces, although decriminalisation in the wider society had started more than 20 years before then. I realised I was gay shortly afterwards. The fear of being dismissed from a job I both loved and was good at forced me to stay silent.
I wasn't found out, and I left the army with a clean record. But the trauma of what happened to me at that time stayed with me for many years.
Thousands of others had a very different experience. Emma Riley joined the Royal Navy in 1990 and was one of the first women deployed to HMS Cornwall.
I got to see some amazing places.
And did you know you were gay when you joined?
No, not really. I mean, who really knows who they are at like 18?
As Emma's career progressed and she understood more about her sexuality, the gay ban that had always been there started to loom large. In 1993, her dad became unwell, and the combined stress was immense.
I was sharing a room with somebody that I thought was my friend. We went out for a drink one evening, and I said to her, I think I might be gay. And at that moment, she seemed really supportive. And of course, she basically phoned the Special Investigation Branch, and it was like, get up, get dressed, get downstairs, you're under arrest.
And what was the consequences?
Hours of questioning. They were really pretty relentless, and they sent me home to tell my parents what was happening. So I had effectively a force coming out to my parents. I'm extremely lucky that they were extremely supportive.
The thought of me being kicked out when I was in the military, I can't even, think how I would have felt. But what was the impact on you?
It's a complete destruction of your life. Your identity's gone, your work's gone, your play's gone, your friends gone. You have nothing left. You're signing up to potentially give your life, and they cut it off.
Caroline Paige served for 35 years in the RAF and in 1999 became the first openly transgender officer to serve in the British Armed Forces. She helped found the charity Fighting with Pride to support LGBT+ personnel and veterans.
Do we know now how many people were affected by the ban?
We know it's in the thousands. Some people who were formally dismissed would have had that recorded on their service record, but many other veterans were dismissed through different means.
We both know from the stories how brutal it was for some.
Yeah, they were given invasive medical inspections, they were bullied and assaulted, they lost family support, they lost friend support, they lost their job overnight. Their service records would be marked with dismissed in disgrace. So you try to go for future employment and they're not going to take somebody on that says dismissed in disgrace.
RAF veteran Kevin Bazeley joined up in 1985 when he was just 18 years old.
I just wanted to fly. That was the only thing I'd ever wanted to do, the only career path I wanted.
7 years later, Kevin realised he was gay, but the forces ban meant that this part of his identity had to be kept secret.
The military police had an agenda to find gay people in the armed forces. They were looking out at known gay venues. I thought, you know what, I'll go 500 miles away for weekends to hopefully get away from that risk of being recognised. I met someone. We went out to a nearby gay nightclub and that had a membership card. We joined the Gay Bikers Motorcycle Club. Those cards were in my wallet and Unfortunately, I lost that wallet.
So you were in dread of this wallet being found and handed in, I suppose?
Every morning, I'd be waking up thinking, is this the day? And then we came back from this training flight. We landed. The wing commander is there to meet the aircraft. I am packing up and he just says, don't worry about that, come with me.
Kevin was arrested, taken for interrogation and discharged from the RAF.
That whole interrogation process starts. Who were you having sex with? What type of sex were you having? Do you know anybody else in the armed forces who's gay? There was no way on earth my integrity would allow myself to tell them.
It makes me so mad and sad. How long did it take you to get back on your feet?
There was a good few months of just that shock and realisation that I had to find something to do. Went into finance, still not sure it's the right choice, but I got a career out of it.
It's a quarter of a century since the policy was abolished. A formal apology was made last year and reparations are now being offered.
On 12th of December 2024, the UK government announced the financial reparations, which is a financial recognition scheme. If you were dismissed or discharged from the armed forces purely for being gay, then there's an award of £50,000.
Acknowledging what these veterans endured and the importance of their service through non-financial recognition, like medals being handed back, is really important. But the window to claim reparation payments is only open until December 2026.
The last thing we want is somebody in 2 years' time to suddenly find out that there was something in there that was going to support their life and they've missed out on it.
This recognition is welcomed by Kevin and Emma.
I don't think any veteran will tell you it's enough, but it's better than nothing, and 4 years ago that's all we had.
There are many things as part of the reparations that will help going forward. That recognition, that apology, the bringing back of those veterans into the veteran and military family.
I'm proud to call myself a veteran. I'm proud that our armed forces now welcome and support people whatever their sexual orientation. Thousands of LGBT plus people have experienced suffering and injustice when all they wanted to do was serve their country. But I am very pleased to say that things have changed.
I was just thinking, having to keep your identity a secret for fear of losing your job, but also being arrested. Something else, isn't it?
I think that's a story that so many people wouldn't have been aware of, but they are now.
Totally.
Thank you to Kelly for telling that story too.
Yeah. In a statement, the Ministry of Defence told us that it deeply regrets the treatment of LGBT serving personnel between 1967 and 2000, which it said was wholly wrong, completely unacceptable, and does not reflect today's armed forces.
It says it will continue to support veterans and is delivering on recommendations from the LGBT Veterans Review, including launching the financial recognition scheme in December for those impacted by the ban.